Epic intro music.
Hello Pennyballs, Lycaon Pictus here. It's been a long time. If any of you are still here from my previous videos, you are extreme OGs. Anybody from my Twitter, welcome. I am bringing you a Rohan Campaign for Divide and Conquer version 5. You may ask, what is that? It is essentially the Lord of the Rings mod for Medieval 2 Total War. Divide and Conquer itself is a brilliant team that is still being updated today. And it has quite a large community, so if you're clicking on this video because you've already played the game, then you'll know exactly what's going on and you won't have to listen to this. But I also don't want to explain too much. I kind of just want to get into it. For those who don't know what's going on or are new to this game or new to the channel, I will answer any questions in the comments below. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new, because it all helps the algorithms. And I've taken a 2-year hiatus, but I am back. And I definitely will be seeing this series out to the end. And hopefully, if all goes well, I will keep playing different campaigns, because I'm really into this mod at the moment. But it's just so diverse, I can't wait to show you if you haven't seen it. And maybe it can give you some ideas for a Rohan campaign if you are a little bit more experienced, because we will definitely be playing on the hardest difficulty. We are playing on very hard, of course. Now, we're doing the long victory conditions, so we have to hold 30 regions, including Kingsland, Plains of Orodruin, Dunland, the Lowlands, Nan Corunir. And we have to eliminate Dunland, Mordor, and Isengard. Arise, arise, riders of Theoden, fell deeds awake. Fire and slaughter, spears shall be shaken, shields shall be splintered. A sword day, a red day, ere the sun rises. Right now, right to Gondor. Death! And then he shouts death multiple times. That happens in the film. I will not be reading it all, don't worry, because there is tons. And that's a little bit what I was trying to say earlier. If you know the game, you don't need me to go over all of it. And if you're new and do need to, you can pause it and read it. But there's basically nothing really too important. It's just the special features and the rare units down here, and the difficulty and the victory conditions. So, of course, they are the famed nation of horsemen. Rohan is obviously the most powerful cavalry nation in the game, the one who fields the most diverse and numerous roster of cavalry in Middle-earth. The special features: they can cede the glittering caves to the dwarves and recruit elite dwarven units, and that is really quite fun. I'll definitely be going for that route. And then the rare units, the Minas Ithil Guardians if you get minus Morgul, and the Guards of Meduseld if you upgrade Edoras. So we'll be focusing on that. And the notable units over here, the Royal Guard, they're really good. You need to hold Edoras for that. Meduseld Door Wards, I think, is the same. Shield Maidens of Rohan, I'm not sure about. I think there must be some reason for saying no to the dwarves. So maybe if you say no to the dwarves, you get access to the Shield Maidens, but I don't actually have a clue. I've never got the Shield Maidens yet, so we'll hopefully figure out how to do that. They are obviously a cavalry-focused faction, versatile cavalry roster, which we've gone over, and the large starting domain is pretty good, and powerful enemy being Isengard. I know I babbled on a little bit, but I also didn't want to do that. So let's just get underway. I wanted to get straight into things, because I'm really excited for this campaign. It's a really fun campaign. And yeah, we just want to see how it goes, because obviously every playthrough is different. My main goals personally are to keep the 3 main marshals alive. Theoden, Eomer and Theodred. Right, this again, you can pause and read if you want. It's just basically about the mod itself. It's not the lore or anything like that. It's just a bit about the mod if you don't know. But I'm sure most of you do, as I've already said. And the only thing that's really interesting that I really want to point out is this. Every time an AI faction gets almost defeated, it will spawn a doom stack to try to save it. And that doom stack will spawn late game troops even if it's in the early game. So that's a really fun challenge to try to overcome. That I really like. And there's a lot of lore. Again, you can pause and read. And the most important part is this notice at the bottom. Theoden is locked in place until he is freed in 10 turns, because it's trying to emulate the fact that he's been deceived by Saruman, you know, Grima and Saruman. But anyway, yep, pause and read again. They're really well written, they really are. But I have, of course, already read them. And I'm sure you've mostly all read them too. So, yep, giving you time to pause in case you need to. I've already talked about the Glittering Caves. You need to get an alliance with either Erebor or Eorlingas, or preferably both, because then it happens a little bit quicker. And yes, this is just the normal game. We've started the game. And I'd like to focus more this time on the family trees, the retinues, and the traits, to try to give it a slight roleplay aspect, although I won't be coming up with a story like certain YouTubers do very well. So my original plan, I've already thought of a base plan for Isengard. For the aim of fun, I want to send Eomer here up north to take Rochburg, and then I basically want to come left to take this settlement. I will be leaving River Anduin, which I think is over here somewhere. I will just be leaving that for whoever wants it, because it's got a fairly large garrison, and it's quite nice to get the jump on Isengard to see when they declare war on us. But after he takes that, what I want to do is I want to run him down here, and I want to go down here, and I want to go into the back of Isengard like this, and I'm going to get Theodred or whoever over here to basically stand on this bridge and hold the bridge. That's what I essentially want to do. So all of the free upkeep units I want to move to Foldberg for now. And I want to switch Theodred to command of there. Yes, and I will move Gamlen back. I was wondering if I wanted to do that for a moment then. But for now that is fine, and these guys I will probably put in the army, because that's the difference. The one I want holding the bridge, I want to be primarily infantry based army, and Eomer will command the Rohirric, because we want to get a little bit of roleplay aspect. And then Theoden, when he... Oh yeah, we'll take that Rohirric for Mr. Carl Urban over here. I know it's not free upkeep, but then now the other two will be. And this guy, I think we will take him to garrison one of these settlements. So I'm going to pop him here for now. And then we may take... The peasants are free upkeep for the moment. But oh, this one isn't, so I might get rid of him. Disband of the peasant militia in the area where we do not need him. Then, if you look at the economy, you start the game losing 545 gold a turn when you play on very hard, very hard. We can easily sort that out. What I'm going to do to begin with is obviously take the initial settlement, but I am going to raise the taxes in the places where we can. We can't here, but only very briefly, because one of the key things I want to focus on is trying to get every settlement on low tax rate where possible, because I want to grow them all to mega cities. Sometimes low tax rate is actually more money in the long run. Yes, but again, I don't want to do it straight away, because obviously the deficit that we start at. So I'm going to put them all up for now. And we've really got to work on Edoras, because that has a lot of unique units, so you need to build that up the quickest and get those military buildings as well. I'm tempted to put that on low, but that one might... Yeah, this one is probably going to make the difference on the higher taxes. But we're going to make sure that the settlements are at least growing, at the very least. Because that, we don't want 0 there. So that'll do. But that's sort of the base start for Rohan. The beginning of Rohan, it can be challenging, but it can also be easy. It kind of depends how smart Isengard is, but if you get kind of a bit of luck on top of skill and you get them relatively quickly, you can catch Dunland unawares, and then you could start steamrolling a little bit. But I don't care what people say, it's still often challenging in the late game on the Rohan one, because then by the time you've cleared out the factions in the west and the north, and potentially have to fight Enedwife as well, Mordor is usually pretty damn strong by this point, and often the Eorlingas and Dol Guldur too. So the late game is always still rather challenging, in my opinion. So that is possibly the most fun bit. I think the most fun parts of this game is the beginning of the campaign, because you have to think tactically when you're not fielding large armies, and you have to get the economy going, but also the late game, because that's when you're actually fighting the full-on challenging armies. So, yes. And now if I build buildings, for me the most important ones are farming. They're not the cheapest, but you've also... the Mason's Hall makes everything cheaper too, and the Grain Exchange are nice little tiny incomes, increasing tradable goods and building income plus 50s, and the mines are generally pretty good too. So I think the most efficient one is Mason's Hall pretty much everywhere to begin with, because it makes everything else cheaper. So might just do that everywhere for now, the first 2 turns. And then my favourite economic building is the farms. I'll be getting a lot of farms. So Mason's Hall everywhere, because it's nice and cheap. I don't know if we need to really recruit anything right away. You can get a lot of good cavalry straight away in those settlements. And yes, I might just disband that one too, but it's free upkeep. I might garrison something with it yet. We will see. And then I will send him additional cavalry too, but not on this turn, because we want to reach the settlement to the north. And there is a lot of there is a unit of... there's another peasant militia in there. But yeah, essentially I just want to plonk these guys here. And now we can see Rochburg. And you start allies and trade rights to Gondor, Dol Amroth and Lothlórien. And you are only at war with Dunland, but Isengard will declare war pretty soon. And then that is one thing that I need to remember, is you need the diplomat straight away. I need 2 of them. Because you don't start with a diplomat, but obviously you can recruit them. And then where do we want to send the spy? I guess to... straight into Isengard, I guess, but maybe just do this settlement up here, because there's a new settlement up here for Isengard in version 5. And look, governors in every place so far, that's what I like to see. And just check we're not doubled up in any way. I don't think we are. No, we're not. No. Right, now we can push Eomer into Rochburg. And because it's a village, a defenceless village, you can just attack straight away. So we can have Rochburg on town 1 and instantly set the taxes to low, because it is one of the lowest population settlements in the game. So there's some sellswords which can be tough. There's a bit of infantry, but it's peasant scouts, so our cavalry will definitely outmatch them. I think they might be the same stats as our peasant scouts, and then there's a couple of units of bandits, which I find to be better than you think, but against this cavalry army, they will crumble. So let's get Eomer's first battle. If he dies here, it will turn into a comedy series. But yes, they have a cave troll. Let's go. Okay, so I want to move back a little bit. These guys... Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with them there. Eomer's going to do all the work, so he can go right up front. I want to put one there and one back here. And hopefully we don't have to use them, but we might. It might be a good idea. What have we got coming? Straight away we have the peasant scouts. Oh, is that one unit or is that 2 units? Anyway, we want to charge straight into that. It's 2 units. I might instantly call these guys in. I thought there was only 1 unit of peasant scouts on the. I thought it said sellswords. I must be imagining it. Anyway, let's charge. You get rid of them. Skirmish, please. See, look, we will mash them up because they're peasants and we're also shooting at them. And Eomer is really powerful. Come on, get out. Showing me up already. These guys aren't running. Oh, we've... Oh god, stop firing. I don't want the friendly fire at the moment. So those units should be pretty much eliminated already. They're wavering. And we'd lost a few Rohirric though, which is not what I wanted. But, yep, get out, get out. Oh, come on, they're charging in. I told them to... Oh, God. I have to admit, Med 2 controls are kind of a bit frustrating sometimes. The double click doesn't always connect. And I didn't even tell them to do that either. Okay. Anyway, it's still easy. I just wanted to minimize casualties. Now look, that's running apparently. Right, this cavalry charge should be devastating. That wasn't a good charge. If you get a good charge on these guys, even with the small unit of 12, you can usually crumble their forces. I want to avoid the sellswords, so you just keep running. You kind of want to form up a little bit better. Oh, the bloody horses. Okay, so this isn't actually going as well as I'd planned. Okay, get out of there. But look, you should see their numbers almost halve just from that one charge. Look at that. And they're shaken. Brilliant. Now that is a proper cavalry charge, as I was trying to show you. Just got to watch he doesn't... The sellswords are the heavy infantry, so I want to kind of leave them till the end. Got a couple of horses caught in there. Yeah, see, even those guys have crumbled quite a few men, look. We want to get fire at will back on with these guys as well. But yes, we might as well just sandwich these guys. And again, this button is really helpful because it really lights up everybody. Yep, you kill them. And they should rout too, I'm hoping. Doesn't matter if you lose the men in the general's bodyguard because they always replenish. But Eomer starts with quite a low amount. But he is quite easy to level up. The generals do tend to gain XP fast in this mod, I found, especially the cavalry's bodyguard. And as in the original Med 2, cavalry is king, especially in this mod. With Rohan, I mean. Well, with every faction that has them. Okay, you might as well just stop firing again. And, oh, we have forgotten the cavalry. who have just been charged by the sellswords. Alright. Because I kind of want to... It's actually more difficult than it looks to kind of keep commentating at the same time. Because I'm like focusing on what I'm saying sometimes, and then I forget about units. Because oh no. See, there's like... That unit's a bit broken up awkwardly. So we just want to finish these guys off, and then we'll focus on the sellswords. We could even start shooting at them, because they'll never catch those guys. Oh. Can't be bothered to round those guys up. Alright, move these over here. Now, what I also want to show you is that even with only 10 men, this Rohan bodyguard is still fearsome. Now I'm going to stop these firing just to show you. But look, it's on 124. And look, they still killed about 10, maybe a few more than 10. Look, they're down to 104, and that's heavy infantry, and there's only 10 of them. You still have to watch him, but generally speaking, you can keep cycle charging until there's only about 5 or 6 people left in there, and then you pretty much don't want to risk it anymore. So we'll bring the other guys in too, and we'll get these guys to fire again briefly. Give like one volley. Yeah, and the other guys are coming in, so I kind of don't want to do that. They can charge back in now. There we go. Smack them from that side and this side.
For the moment, the fortune of battle goes our way.
We'll get Eomer out first.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
See, look, they're down to 59 men. Run. You can charge back in because your unit's relatively together. These guys are a bit awkwardly spread out.
Now for wrath, now for ruin.
Alright, now you guys get out first. And look, they're down to about 34 men now. And now you guys are formed up, you can do the what I hope is the finishing blow. If it kills the captain, it certainly will be. Brilliant. That should be the end of it from these 3 charges. They're shaken, and there will be under 20 men. And their captain... Oh no, they're running, they are running. Perfect. We will end it because we still win. We got heroic victory, but we didn't even want to lose those 48 men. We need every man of the West. Every member of the Rohirrim needs to stand. What I love about this mod, though, is it's kind of like a what if. It's sort of like if Bilbo has never found the ring, and as the game suggests, it's total war, all-out war, and you can even go to war against your allies. So you could do Rohan versus Gondor, stuff like that. You don't really want to, because then you'll probably get crushed by a overpowerful Mordor. But okay, so we can occupy that. And then this settlement comes with a population of only 168. Look, so you want to instantly just have that on low and have it on low forever. And then you want all the population growth. But yes, the Mason Soul's not really that important here because everything is cheap. But I will get it first anyway because it feels logical. Now we could even move some peasant scouts up there. He's free upkeep, so I might leave him for the moment. And yep, we definitely want to turn the taxes. We want to turn the taxes down anyway, eventually. But this is not taking into this is taking into account all the buildings we purchased too. So you just have to look down here and then see what we are losing or gaining, and it looks like we're actually just gaining a minuscule amount by this point. So that is a start. Now I want to kind of take, as soon as the other guys arrive, I want to take him out on the next turn. But I think we will probably leave that and end the turn. I'm not really thinking what else we need to do. I think we're good for the first turn. I think we are good. We've built something in every settlement. Yep, let's end the turn. I love that. Yes, oh yeah, that's the point. I am using the copyright-free music as well. There was a copyright-free music pack on the Discord that you can install for the purpose of YouTubers, which is really nice. Obviously, the original Lord of the Rings music is fantastic, but this is great too. There's some absolute tunes in this. One of the battle deployment songs is brilliant. And yep, so we'll see what Isengard do. Oh, we could have done a couple of watchtowers. That is a brilliant thing about this mod too, is the watchtowers are only 15 gold. Right. He wants trade rights, so I think we could try to extort them a little bit, because this says generous, look. So we can extort them and ask for 8 grand. It's never going to work, but you basically just want to see balanced, sometimes accept, but I sometimes go down until it stays at generous, because it's normally still a nice sum. But if 8,000 is, yeah, so that's still balanced, we could try that.
I do not think you would accept in my position.
No.
Something else you'd like to suggest?
So I normally, because it's normally still a tidy sum, so I normally like just keep going down until it still says generous at the bottom, because I'm not too greedy.
Leave this
Oh well, I've extorted them before, but I was a little bit greedy that time. Not that it matters, because the trade deal with Isengard lasts about 2 turns. Okay, so Eored, betrothed to Dernwyn. We'll have a look at the family tree after this so we know who it is, but there's so many traits in this mod, they all come with about this many traits, and the commanders are normally always fantastic. I mean, look, they're all good. Look, plus command, plus they get bonuses to pretty much everything, and they only take a few battles to start getting lots more command style traits, because there's even look, +1 command when defending walls, so he instantly will be above 1 command. We will take him because we're going to need someone to garrison every settlement, and look, Isengard have already marched an army into our land, so we may be fighting that. Let's just see how it goes, and again, now we are back to minus 50 a turn, apparently. I'm not sure why it has gone down so much since the last turn, because we didn't recruit anything. But yes, faction announcements. Okay, so this is something that is very important. Prince Theodred has Horn of Helm Hammerhand, and you give this to the man you want to be the next heir. Now, I was unaware how to select the heir yourself previously, so I don't know if it's new or not, but that is how you do it. So let's have a look at the family tree. So we've just married Eorlingas. Well, we've just married Dernwyn, the youngest sister of Theoden, to Eorlingas. So he has now joined the family tree. Eomer is still alive in this mod, and of course Theodred, who I've already mentioned a bunch of times, is still alive in this mod too, because it's set slightly before the War of the Ring, and Eowyn has just been born at this time, so she is still 0 at the moment. And that is Theoden's sister, and that is married to Theoden's sister, so obviously Eomer is his nephew, as you know in the film. So we want to try and expand this as much as possible. I'm either going to give Eomer the faction heir after Theodred, or if he has a son, I will carry the line down. That's kind of how I want to play it. But we're not planning on getting Theodred killed anytime soon, because I think our three best commanders are Theoden, Theodred, and Eomer. And because of Eomer's sort of position in the family tree, I would like to sort of give him an army to command to at some point, but of course we can't sustain it in the economy yet. And then another thing I haven't mentioned is you have the custom generals, who I didn't know got free upkeep, but this guy does. So if you bring them out, you can look. That's not the right button. If you bring them out, you can click here and you can see their unit. These are custom units because they don't come with the standard Rohan bodyguard. They each, and they all have their own retinue and interesting traits, which is nice. Now, he has the general's armor and he is commander of the Eorlingas, which is very good. And yes, this guy comes with a unit of archers, so he would lead an archer-focused army. That's kind of how I want to do it. An army where his archers can be useful, not a cavalry-focused army of Rohans classically. And I want to kind of build them around the custom generals too, and hope that I don't get them killed off. But I will probably lose one or two. Gambling is another one. I think
Yes, my lord.
he has the Riddermark Axemen, which is shock infantry, very nice. And Theodred has a nice unit of Royal Guards, Rohan Bodyguard. But he only has 26 for the moment, which is still quite high because it's more than Eomer. Theoden has 20, but you can soon build them up. And I do want to move Eorled out somewhere. I'm thinking he can go govern Foldberg, because we're gonna need to get Theodred out in the field in his own army, so I am going to take him over to Foldberg, and I can build a nice watchtower on the way. Now, here is where it gets interesting. We have to go spy on Isengard. So the Fangorn camp up here, and we can see this army here, which is a decent-ish. It's got Uruk High already. There's nothing that scary in it, actually. The only thing that we have to be afraid of at this point in the game is probably the Isengard Pikes, which I think is a late-game unit. But one of these guys here, look there, you can see there, Uruk High Pikeman. I knew I could see it somewhere. And he is basically lethal. This unit is lethal to cavalry, so it is anti-Rohan troop at its finest. Now I've lost generals, many generals to this pike unit, even charging it in the back, so you just want to keep all cavalry miles away from it. Miles away. So that is still not going to reach. These guys are still not going to reach it. Right, okay, so maybe we'll leave some peasant scouts in there for now. And we'll take everybody else out. I hope that it won't rebel, because we have to deal with this. And then we're going to head towards Fangorn camp. And hopefully I sit on the edge of my border and build a watchtower. Don't know where it is. I'm hoping that I've not crossed it there. Misty Mountains reach. No, look, we are perfectly on the border. Isn't that brilliant? So we can build a nice watchtower illuminating Fangorn Forest. And then there's a unit of cavalry we want to join up with him. Yes, we don't need the peasant scouts yet. We could even swap them. We could take peasant scouts as an extra 91 horses for Eomer's army, so that would be quite nice too. And what was this? Oh yeah, this guy was joining too. Look at that reach. Brilliant. And we can hire this guy. I'm tempted, Because you can get the Rohirrim as mercenaries too, but we are losing 700 a turn, so I will hold off on that. We are building the Mason's Hall in every single settlement, so there might not be anything else we can do. Move the diplomat. That. I think I'm going to go visit the elves first, because we want to start making headway into the Dwarven territories, because we need to get the Glittering Caves. So I don't know, it's somewhere over here, the elves, aren't they?
Tomorrow's journey planned out.
And honestly, I like a second diplomat. That's how I play the game. And then I will be hiring more spies too. What's their upkeep? I don't know. Where do I look? Lists? Nope. I can't see the upkeep for the spy anywhere. But I'm assuming it's around 50 or 100. I know you can look somewhere, can't remember. Oh yes, this I forgot to share. This is additional faction info. So again, you can pause and read it. It's more important because it explains the special features and the ring script. You can destroy the ring, you can capture the settlement where it is in, and send a general with it to Madras, which is Rivendell, to undertake the process by seeking the White Council. I think you might be able to take it to Balad-dur, Mount Doom yourself. I'm not too sure. I haven't actually done that. But you can also keep it and forsake the Free Peoples and do like an evil Rohan campaign. Right, I think we're done again. If I'd managed to successfully extort a little bit of money out of Isengard, we wouldn't have taken the hit, and that's probably the way to do it. But we're just going to have to take the economic hit this turn. That's Grima fleeing back to Isengard. Oh, that is the I think new Dunland general for Isengard. Isengard have one Dunland general that starts with a lot of Dunland troops, so you can kind of get a feel for the Dunland armies you're going to be facing later. So we're getting Prince Theodred married, and that's what I like to see, because we need to get him his heir. Okay, so they want me to send... That's a little bit annoying. Can I even reach that in 5 turns? They want me to send my diplomat to Mordor already. And I don't think you can actually cross here. I don't remember being able to cross that. Unless it's only when Mordor hold it. But I'm going to take them over here, this way. I don't think we're going to be able to reach it in time. 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4. Look, 5 maybe. If we run into a scout or something. Let's just try.
I shall continue tomorrow.
That's a bit of an annoying mission, that one. Where is the other diplomat? I don't even remember. Here.
My lord. Yes.
Okay, so we want to keep sending him that way. Constructions report, we've got the Mason's Hall everywhere. I love that. Right. Marriage celebrations, end of turn report, brilliant. Now, what are we doing here?
Yes, my lord.
I think that we're going to...
What you want?
We could kill Ugluk already as well. That might be a bit of a risky... He's only got 5 units, but it's still a little bit risky without any cavalry. But I'm going to attack him at least to see if he backs off or what. Because we want to hold the bridge. We're going to declare war now because we're going to siege Fangorn camp anyway on this turn. Hopefully. Let me just check that I...
Yes,
Yeah, I
my lord.
can do it this turn. So, yes, that's what we're going to do. Oh yeah, Theodred, look, he's already up to 31 units. Which is fantastic. So yes, we're going to straight up... Oh look, we start with an Eorlingas swordsman unit 2. That's a good unit. Yep, we're going to declare war on Isengard already. And he hasn't fled, so what has he got? Raiders, archers, Baneguard, Spearguard, I'm sure that's fine. And the General's bodyguard, he has Berserkers, which is alright, but they will hope... Do we have any missile units? We don't really. We've got one unit of archers, so we're just going to have to see how that goes. But Prince Theodred himself is lethal. He is lethal. So we're going to get straight into Battle 2 of the campaign. Oh, we can jam out to these tunes. This is the one that I love. It only happens in the deployment stage. As soon as you hit start battle, it finishes. But it is an absolute tune, and you rock out while positioning your troops. Right, and we've crossed the bridge already, which is fantastic because we don't have to run across a bridge at them. Right, I think we want to go straight at them. Oh, listen to that, listen to that. These guys can go into spear wall, shield wall, whatever you want to call it. It's fantastic. And the axes are the shock troops, so they're more the flanking units. So and the peasants are just fodder really. So I want like axe on the outside. I hope it works like this. Peasant, spear, axe, sword. I'm guessing the sword is shock infantry as well. But these are the ones you want to hold the line against the cavalry. They have a fantastic spear wall and they look amazing. They're all pretty cool really. And the swordsmen are actually the higher tiered troop. These guys are amazing. Yep. Archers look pretty cool. The peasant militia still looks decent. Yes. And the Rohan's bodyguard looks absolutely incredible, and they are fearsome. And Theodred himself can crumble armies on his own with his bodyguard, and you can even build it up more than 32. So I think we've had enough of this legendary tune. I don't want to press start battle. They should leave this song on while you're fighting, honestly. Oh, they're coming from this side. Alright. So we want to move the guys over here now. We want to group them actually, so that we just keep this formation, but I don't like to keep them grouped. We might have to move towards them though, that's the only problem. I'm going to just charge straight in with Theodred because I was trying to showcase it a little bit in the last one, but Eomer has not built up his bodyguard that much. He doesn't really have enough riders. But I'm going to try to show you a cavalry charge that can crumble armies with this guy. Just on Medieval 2, sometimes the cavalry charges can not always work. You kind of have to you have to reform them. Sometimes you have to walk and then run. They can be a little tricky to kind of get perfect sometimes. And give them a chance to get a bit closer. Right, now let's see who we can lure out of this army. Because they had like Uruk High Archers or something like that as well, which can be quite good to your early game troops. I might end the episode after this battle though, because I don't want the first episode to overrun too much. I want to do roughly, I'd say 50-minute videos. I think roughly an hour, if you account for overrunning, are the best length for these videos, because there's so much content that if you do like 20-minute episodes, you'll end up with like 70 parts. Okay, we're going to have to charge. I'm talking and they're already firing at us. Okay, the Baneguard, you can charge the Baneguard. They're just useless orcs. Okay, so they're the archers. Let's actually switch to the archers. And the berserkers. That charge has been not really worked. So you're going to come back and reform. This is what I mean. Actually, we're going to charge the general if he wants to leave himself isolated. But you can't leave them in. You get the initial charge and then you have to get out instantly. Because you will lose a lot of men. See, we've lost some men. That wasn't really a great exchange. I will be able to show you a proper charge at some point. Come on, get in there, get in there, get in there. Kill the general. This looks like it's going to be good. Yeah, you see them flying in the air. Yes, they lost like 20 men there. Right, get out, get out, get out, get out. Yeah, look, they're down to 47 men. See, I crumbled their berserker unit right there. And again, like I say, generally speaking, you are safe with Theodred. You don't want to get him stuck, but we should be able to poach this general, and he is a named general. This Ugluk guy becomes the first captain after Lert, so I just want to make sure that the archers are firing. They're still walking. I should have run the guys a bit quicker. I might even... Oh god. Oh, they're the archers. That's why. Okay. I should have run the infantry line a bit quicker. Again, I am talking too much. And look, the berserkers are already down to 16 men. But none of these guys are too scary. There's a spear guard that we want to avoid. We definitely don't want to charge the spears, but they're not near us really, so we don't have to worry. So when his unit starts getting a bit more depleted, that's when you've got to... Where are you going? Why are you going to the side like that? Look, the idiot himself has ploughed into that unit on his own. He did kill a couple. Oh no, not loose, not loose. I meant these guys in loose. We haven't split their army up as much as I was hoping. But Ugluk, we have... This is basically is essentially their Isengard's third in command, this guy, because he takes over as the first captain when you kill... Yep. So that's Isengard's third in command already killed. And we will get Theodred out of there now. And the rest of them should start crumbling and routing soon now too, without having to use the rest of the army. I was hoping to split up the army a little bit more efficiently. They've kind of stuck to their formation quite well this time. They don't always do that. You can often start dragging them out of formation. But look, we should start ploughing in there. These are these successful cavalry charges that I wanted to tell you about. That got about 50 kills on that single charge. Now I'm successfully showing you how elite these guys actually are. When you use them successfully, you can easily get... Ooh, nice, 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 nice. If you use these guys successfully, you can easily get like 400 kills a battle. Okay, get out, get out, get out. Yeah, see that Baneguard's already down to 74 men. And now I'll have a go at the other unit. Yeah, they're not really doing too much. They're being very passive in this battle. Very passive indeed. These guys are only light infantry too. They've not got spears. So again, we've crumbled them, got about 50 kills there. Another 50 kills without even using the main bulk of the army. The sound effects are funny. Right, oh, Theodred is well in front of the rest of them. Get back, mate. I might pop the special ability because you get free uses and Probably should have used it against the Berserkers. And you get Boromir's voice line. Okay, we've got another load of kills there. Get him out, get him out, get him out. Oh, run. Failing with the controls a bit again there. So now the archers... Our archers are almost out of ammo. Yes, that's what I want. I want to start bringing them up, separating their army up a little bit. Know that they don't want to break formation this time. I'm telling you, they quite often chase your cavalry. I think it might be because I've got my infantry relatively close. Okay, well, oh no, their spears. Do not charge the spears. No, I don't want to risk any spears. You can. These aren't the most powerful spears. You can definitely get a rear charge on them, but I don't want to risk anything on the first episode. Alright, see? Crumbling their units, look. One more cavalry charge and that unit will probably be deleted. Look, they're finally charging my line, I think. So I do just want to make sure that the archers get behind the infantry line again. You guys countercharge them. The countercharge seems to be where you get the most kills as well, when they're actually charging at you. But when they're spread out like this, that doesn't usually happen. They normally have to be in a better formation. You really have to take tight control over your cavalry. Because if you just leave them in combat like the AI does, they're just utterly useless. So now these two guys have to start flanking. And then hopefully we can get this unit eliminated so that we can start moving on the archers, because we are probably going to get shot in the back at the same time. Right, so we don't actually want to touch up with that unit. We've killed their banner bearer by the looks of it. Nope, he got out. So now we want to just basically converge on them and then get Theodred out, because he is still in combat. Never leave the cavalry locked in combat. So the axemen, you're charging in there, and these are the swordsmen, so we definitely want to see how good these guys are. 23 men left in that unit. They should absolutely annihilate them now. They're already routing. Basically, just at the moment, the formation doesn't really matter because they're about to rout. As soon as they're touched from behind, they will rout anyway. So, okay, we still haven't... Yeah, they just routed. That charge was obviously useless because they still had about 20 men when I came back to check on them. Now we want to form up again and hit the archers, which now they're the only ones left in the army, we should crumble them. And then we'll have to chase those guys down. The infantry are probably not going to catch them. So if these guys can rout pretty quickly, that would be nice. We don't have any other cavalry to help out here, but it's just going to take a little bit of time to cycle charge them down when they're this spread out. They're still firing at my infantry line. Nice, nice, nice. We are killing a lot of them. That'll bring the unit closer together again. But yeah, even when he's got like 6 people in his unit, it's still pretty fearsome. And like I said, the bodyguard unit always replenishes too, so you never have to worry about that really. As long as you don't lose Theodred himself. We could start running the swordsman over just for fun. See if we can speed it up a little bit. Because meanwhile that other unit is routing off them. Actually, they look like they're coming back on... No. Oh, they must have caught them then, or some... Oh no, they're all the way over there. So, yeah. We can't run him back. We'll try to get the axemen over, but they probably won't reach in time. I'm just thinking how I can speed it up a little bit. Because there's still 70 men in that unit, but... and they're too spread out for the cavalry charges. Yeah, again, terrible charge. That was supposedly a charge. So line up. Yeah, they seem to be a bit stuck on this part of the map for some reason. Look. So these guys are going to arrive before we eliminate this unit by the looks of it. Although they are shaken, wavering, I have just eaten my words. Okay, so now we're just going to put the speed up and kill all these archers, because that whole unit that routed before did escape, so it might not completely delete the army, unfortunately. Alright, just finish them off, finish them off. And this will be the first episode completed. I don't want to overrun on the first one too long. That was good, wasn't it? We've got 2 successful battles, and we'll check the kills in this one. See what I said? He easily gets 400 kills on his own if you use him correctly, and he has got 440 kills in this battle alone and 54 routing ones caught. So almost 500 defeated just from Theodred himself. He really is incredible. You do not want to lose him at all. And you want to gain him more traits, so his cavalry unit, his bodyguard unit increases in size. Then you'd be fearsome. So we'll just see if Ugluk is deleted. Yep, and we will execute the runners. And yep, it looks like his unit has been completely defeated. So he is Isengard's third in command, defeated already in episode 1. And we can see Isen run now too, which has another general in it. Nice. So we're going to move back to the bridge because we are holding the bridge. We could even move straight onto Lurtz. That is tempting, isn't it? That is tempting. He has berserkers too. That is very tempting. But I can't see what's around him. I think rather than just killing him right now, we'll wait till the next episode at least. So yes, retinue expands, so he gets a veteran warrior, so he's already got +1 personal security and +1 command when commanding infantry. So Theodred here has already increased. He has 4 command, but he's got loads of other stats that when you actually initiate the battle, he will have loads more, but we will build this up too. So yes, we will be holding here. So anyway, yes, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and remember you can always follow me on Twitter and Instagram